Big Magic. Creative Living Beyond Fear. By Elizabeth Gilbert. Courage. Every individual is blessed with an innate gift. Recognizing those hidden gifts is essential to live a creative life. These gifts are engraved in our cores, thus we need to make efforts to discover them. Courage can help you in finding those gifts. After finding out your gifts, be courageous to work in accordance to them. Courage is the only way which will help you stand out of the callous ways of this world. You need to practice bravery in order to recognize your own capabilities. The courage will widen your horizon of perceiving things. It will give you distinction from being a dull person to an enchanted one. When you pursue your talents and incorporate them in your life, you enter the realm of creative life. A creative life isn't about committing your professional life or personal life to the field of arts. It has a much wider horizon. Creativity is living a life that is directed by the curiosity instead of fear. Fear is the biggest hindrance in your way to live a creative life. Courage and creativity goes hand in hand. You need a lot of courage and bravery to live a creative life. We are always surrounded by the fear of rejection, failure, ignorance, self-doubt and age. These fears need to be overcome, else you will be failed to discover your inner talents. The realization that your fear is boring and it isn't introducing you to anything new, it will become easier for you to come out of it. You don't have to be absolutely fearless to be creative. Learn to distinguish between the fear you needed and the one you don't. To simply put, you need fear to stay away from the things that bring harm to you, otherwise you will do the things that are potentially harming. Another point is that you don't need fear to do creative things. But it doesn't mean that the fear will not appear. It definitely will. Fear needs to be handled carefully, as in order to get rid of it, we often kill the creativity. When you commit to do something creative, you agreed for unsettled results. Fear and creativity cannot be separated. They come in a pair. Hence, you need to get comfortable with your fears in order to live a creative life. Enchantment. An idea has both psychological and emotional impacts on an individual. These impacts can also be named as inspiration. Creativity is magical. When you conceive an idea, it left you spellbound and mesmerized. It forces you to do something that seems irrational to others. The Greeks and Romans believed that ideas are some external things. They called these inspirations or ideas as your genius. Ideas need a human partner to be executed. They occur to those who are open and willing to make a commitment with them. They constantly try to grab your attention. Most of the time, we are so much occupied with the depression and anxieties that we never pay attention to these ideas. When you are relaxed and your mind is free of all the worries, you start getting the inspiration that has been roaming around you. The idea will direct your attention to all the things that strengthen your interest in it. You will be reminded of the idea all the time until you attend it with complete concentration. It totally depends on you, whether you want to say yes or no to the idea. Saying no to the idea isn't a bad thing. You need to analyze your situation if the idea suits you. Declining the idea might not impact you, but agreeing to it will. When you say yes to an idea, you are making contract to give all your attention and concentration to it. Once you agreed to an idea, don't delay to attend it, otherwise you will lose it. If you lost an idea due to any reason, instead of crying over it, just let it go. Pay attention to new ideas and don't miss them. It is important to be open and attentive towards the ideas. If you aren't ready for an idea, it will find another person who is ready and willing. Permission. Creativity is an inner virtue of every human being. The heterogeneity of this creativeness is magnificent. Creative living isn't something that needs permission of anyone. It is the expression of your inspiration. Inspiration can be taken from anyone. Remember that you already have that creativity deeply seated within you. All you need to do is to discover that. Your parents, friends and other creative people who have influence over you can become inspiration for you to live a creative life. It's never too late to switch to the creative life pattern. You are designed to live creatively. The inspiration is looking for you. You just need to pay attention to it. Don't be afraid of newness of things, uncertain outcomes, eerie experiences, and of failures. You need to free yourself to express, to probe into things and to create, for which you need to possess strong feelings of self-entitlement. Self-entitlement is important in order to take risk. It works as a force that will always push you to strive beyond your set boundaries. It will give you the feeling of being an individual with own opinion and vision. It will pull you out of the trap of self-doubts. You don't have to be worried about the reaction of people to your creativity. You are doing it for your sake. It might be your way to vent out, to get relaxation and satisfaction. If you enjoy doing something, it will reach to the heart of everyone. Believe in what you are doing and create what your inspiration directs you to. We reject a lot of ideas after knowing that they have been expressed before. They certainly had been, but not by you. You have your own way of expression. Remember that being authentic is more important than being original. The world has a lot to teach you. Allow yourself to learn from the whole wide world. There is nothing bad in getting a professional degree in arts, but only if you can afford it. Don't dump yourself in the heaps of debts to become an officially creative person. A degree might not assure you to be an extraordinary creative person, but the depression of being drowned into debts will definitely kill your creativity. Remember that your creativity will come out by your own efforts. Besides, you aren't here to judge the potential of other people. Let them enjoy their creativity and you do what you wanted to. To have a happy creative life, understand that art is a paradox. It is meaningless and meaningful as well. To live artistically, it is important and meaningful, but to live sanely, it isn't matter and meaningless. You need to keep both of these ideas in your mind and become used to switching between them. Persistence. If you have a purpose to achieve in your life, you need to vow to yourself to do it no matter what consequences come to you. You shouldn't be afraid of the flaws and shortcomings. The world has been filled with the incomplete things and unattended inspirations. Your persistence and devotion will be seen and judged in the time of difficulties. How you tackle all of them and stay on track will show your faithfulness to your purpose. The contract between you and your creativity is about this tolerance and patience. A creative person has to tolerate the failures and disappointments. In order to save your creativity, you need to take care of your finances. Don't bother your creativity with the burden of your bills. Charge your creativity with enthusiasm. Try to present yourself in the best way to the ideas, so that they come to you. The creative mind needs to involve in something constructive, else it will get engaged with something destructive. The dreadful thing is, if the creativity isn't expressed, it can make you crazy. Don't consider your age, gender or social background reason for not doing something. Don't give up something in the mid. Don't think about the results and focus on completing what you have started. Trust. Nowadays, people have lost the connectivity with their surroundings. Our ancestors used to trust nature and love it unconditionally and remain in conversation with it continuously. The earth is constantly communicating to us, but we failed to connect with it. We need to help Earth to bring forth its gift, and it will help us in finding ours. It has similar nature as humans. We need to take care of it and it will take care of us. It is also believed by some people that nature isn't treat people equally. Trust is the main element to develop understanding between the earth and human. We have to believe that the earth loves us, then we will be able to love her truly. We need to trust earth in order to live creatively. This trust will benefit us and the earth as well and help us to polish our creativity. Some people believed that the creativity comes when a person suffers. They teach other people to distrust the pleasure and joyful feelings of creativity. They affirm the idea that if it isn't making you insane, it isn't creativity. Thus, people who aspire to live creative life start seeking for the suffering. They get fascinated by the idea of suffering, which is dangerous and even life-threatening. It also becomes an addiction which results in mental disorders and kills all the creativity in a person. The idea of tormented artist is common and people are captivated by it. Understand that pain can be a barrier between you and your creativity. It can consume all your strength and leave nothing for any other activity. You need to overcome these fears and get rid of these ideas. Free yourself from it, only then can you call forth your talent and utilize it to live creatively. When you reject the idea of suffering, you chose the way of a trickster and left the way of martyrs. Tricksters are the ones who don't kill themselves for unachievable things, while martyrs do. The creativity and tricksters are similar, and they are derived out of similar energies, as they both wanted to change the dull world. The greatest virtue of a trickster is that he trusts and gets the job done in a lighter way. Many people don't trust their creativity. They assumed that their creativity isn't supporting them. Take into account that inspiration has been looking for you and come to you. It has earned your attention, then it will also support you. You just need to put your trust into it. You need to keep working with stubbornness. At times, people fail to identify their passion. They get triggered by some momentarily thing, start working on it with great passion, and after some time lose all the interest. Instead of looking for the passion, they become a curious person. This curiosity will keep you moving forward and help you discover new things. If you find a little clue of curiosity in something, work on it. Your curiosity will guide you. Let go what has gone and start something new. The key is to keep moving and never let your failures stop you. If you feel stuck or blocked, do something else. Oftentimes, a new creative idea opens way for the blocked ones as well. Have trust in your work. Show the world what you have created. Trust doesn't worry about the outcomes, neither allow you to give up and waste all your efforts. Divinity. Creativity is the individuality of a person. One's creativity cannot be similar to the others. The whole idea of creativity is a paradox. It is sacred and it isn't. Your creativity may not be conceived by the other person as you intended. By the course of time, some of the things get meanings and some become meaningless. So, it merely depends on your intentions, devotion, purity of your heart and soul that the things become divine or obscene. You need to make space in your mind and soul to understand and incorporate all these paradoxes. Divinity works with us when we are light-hearted and full of fun. All you need is an inspiration which is waiting for your acknowledgement. Be courageous to say yes to the ideas. Give yourself permission to work and explore things. Don't be disappointed and work consistently with trust in your creativity, and then the divinity will work with you. What we learned. What was the core message that we got from this book? Recognizing the hidden gifts is essential to live a creative life. Courage gives distinction from being a dull person to an enchanted one. Creativity is living a life that is directed by the curiosity instead of fear. Self-entitlement will pull you out of the trap of self-doubts. Authenticity of the work is more important than originality, and don't fall in the trap of perfectionism. To have a happy creative life, understand that art is a paradox. Creativity cannot survive under the pressure of financial crisis. Don't think about the results and focus on completing what you have started. Suffering becomes an addiction which results in mental disorders and kills all the creativity. Divinity works with us when we are light-hearted and full of fun.